All right, happy Wednesday, everybody. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson here with a little bit of an update to the forecast. Now, typically we do our weekday updates or weekly updates on Mondays, and then on Thursdays we do the weekend weather updates. But we're doing a kind of midweek update here because we want to talk a little bit about the heat. You know, heat can be a really dangerous thing. We want to make sure everyone's ready for how hot it's about to get here as we head throughout the next few days. The hottest temperatures that we have had so far this year is what we're expecting, and not going to have any rain today to help cool us off. You notice that there is some shower activity up towards Jackson, Tennessee, and stretching into the Boot Heel of Missouri and northeast Arkansas, but that is staying away from us for today. So let's talk a little bit about some things that are going to be impacting us here. Right now we have a moderate air quality here across North Georgia for the most part. That's everywhere shaded in yellow. But we're expected to go into the unhealthy for sensitive groups range as we head into this afternoon, later into the afternoon that is. This is right now 2:30 in the afternoon on Wednesday. And that's going to mean that we are going to have air quality that is not good for people who may have things like asthma or COPD. You may end up having some issues breathing due to the fact that there's a little bit more in the way of pollution in the air. So just make sure that you're limiting that time outside if you are one of those groups that's a little more sensitive to the air quality. That's also considered an air quality alert. You see that all the counties shaded in orange there. They're the ones under the alert for the lower air quality for today. Now, as we've made our way throughout this morning and into the afternoon, you see that we've had just a few clouds start to pop up here and there. Nothing too menacing, just a mostly sunny sky outside. And you can kind of notice a little bit of haze. That may be from that air quality that we're going to be dealing with for today. Out towards the airport right now, everything moving smoothly there. The King and Queen Towers, so good you had to see it twice, showing that we have a little bit of blue sky there up towards the Sandy Springs area. And then looking out towards the region, you see that temperatures are rising quickly. Right now, 87 in Atlanta, we have 87 in Peachtree City, 88 down towards Thomaston. These temperatures are going to be rising into those lower 90s as we head throughout this afternoon. Now, that's going to be the 7th time that we've hit 90 this year so far. If we do end up hitting 90 today, we hit 89 yesterday. We were right there at the mark, and we just came up a little short, but I don't think anyone's complaining by the temperatures being a little bit cooler, right? We hit 91 there the day before. 92 was the hottest temperature that we've had so far this year, just a few days ago. And then you see that we've had at 90 a few days as we've headed throughout the last 30. Now, this red line here, that's the average high for this time of year. The blue line is the average low, and this is each day's low and high going from left to right. So again, it's been a little hot, and we're going to keep that trend going as we head throughout today and into tomorrow. Now, we don't have any heat advisories here across North Georgia today, but look off to our west. They have some excessive heat warnings, excessive heat watch. They're down towards southern and middle portions of Alabama, stretching into the Florida Panhandle. And then they also have those heat advisories. So we don't have one today, but it's still going to be pretty hot outside. You're going to want to make sure that you're being safe. Know the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. If you have a throbbing headache, you may have heat stroke. If you're faint or dizzy, it could be heat exhaustion. Excessive sweating means that you have that heat exhaustion, but if you're not sweating at all, maybe you've been sweating earlier and your body stopped sweating, it could be a sign that it's something more serious like heat stroke. Cool, pale, clammy skin is associated with heat exhaustion, but when you get red, hot, and dry skin, heat stroke. And then we talk about rapid, weak pulse, rapid, strong pulse, just more things that can be attributed between heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Remember, if you have heat exhaustion, get to a cool, air-conditioned place, drink plenty of water, take a cool shower, or use a cold compress to try to cool off. But if you have heat stroke, you need to call 911 in order to stay safe out there. Again, it's going to be hot. Today, temperatures expected to hit 92. That would tie for the hottest condition that we've had so far this year. That was, again, back on June 25th. And then later on this week, we're expected to get even hotter than that. We're expected to hit 96 for Thursday, 95 for Friday, 96 for Saturday, staying with those hotter conditions there. Again, we've only hit 90 degrees 6 days so far this year, but we're going to see that number go up a lot as we head throughout the next few days here. Not seeing anything on the radar for today. We are going to have some rain chances later on this week. That's the good news. Should help to give some communities a little bit of a cool down, but we are going to still be hot for the most part before those rain showers could arrive. And don't forget, when the rain ends up being on the radar, you can download that 11 Alive app to stay updated on the forecast whenever you're on the go. You can explore the radar map, check out the hourly forecast, again, for today. Check it out. That's real-time data. Rising up to 92 degrees with a good amount of sunshine by 5 p.m. Right now it's 87 in the Atlanta area. Send in those weather wow moments. Maybe you're outside having a popsicle or some ice cream and some of the hot conditions and you're playing it safe. Send in that weather wow moment to us, how you're trying to enjoy some of the summertime conditions and how you're trying to stay cool, and we may even share it right here on 11 Alive. And don't forget that you can also watch the newscast live right there from your phone, that little tab at the bottom where it says watch live. Maybe you're not at home and you want to still catch what's going on with the news. You can watch the newscast right there at your fingertips. Also, don't forget to download the Roku and Fire TV app. If you don't have it already, you can get extra news information right there at your fingertips at home, and then also watch extra weather updates like the one you're watching right now, right there on your Roku and Fire TV. Taking a look at the forecast track as we head throughout the next 48 hours here. Again, 92 for today, going to be hot. We move into tonight. Temperatures dropping back down to the 60s and 70s. Mostly clear sky overhead. And moving into Thursday, look off to the far north portions of Georgia and towards the Chattanooga area. A lot of shower and thunderstorm activity up there. A cluster of storms going to be dipping their way down to the south by 5:30 p.m. on Thursday. Some communities could be dealing with some of that rain, but you see it's already going to be hot before that rain arrives. 94 in Atlanta, 92 in Carrollton, really hot conditions there. The storms continue to move south, and they'll be dying out as they head down to the south. They are going to have the chance to be a little more severe for areas off to our north into Tennessee and Kentucky and into that region, but they'll be weakening as they arrive on our doorstep. Still going to be gusty winds, heavy rain at times, maybe even a little bit of lightning. And then we head into the overnight hours Thursday night into Friday morning. Temperatures going to drop down to the 60s and 70s, and then on Friday getting hot again. Temperatures back into the mid to upper 90s. And then we're going to end up seeing another chance for a little bit of shower activity, I think even more than what Forecast Track was trying to show there. So for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and yes, even into early next week, we're going to have the hot conditions, but you also have the rain chances in there to help give us a little bit of relief possibly at times. You see the 30% chance for rain for isolated showers and storms Friday and Saturday, increasing up to a 40% chance there as we head into the end of the weekend and early next week. Of course, that would add to the surplus that we have right now. You see that we are near normal for the month, but we're at a surplus for the month of June. We don't have the latest drought monitor map up yet. That doesn't come out until Thursday morning. But it's going to take in all the data that we had last week as far as the rain was concerned, and we're likely going to see a big change in this map with the abnormally dry areas shrinking or possibly disappearing for our region completely thanks to all the heavy rainfall that we had just last week. The amount of rainfall we had last week also helped to put us in that surplus, but you see we're barely in it right now in Atlanta still. While we had a lot of rain for areas north of downtown Atlanta, especially even within the perimeter, getting closer on up towards the Sandy Springs area especially, we had a good amount of rain up there and then up to Brookhaven. But down towards the airport, which is where this number is measured at, didn't have as much, so we aren't as much at a surplus there for what it's reading than what some spots close by still had on the rain. So we are still going to have the chance to add a lot to it. Remember, we have a lot of rain chances in the 7-day forecast. We're talking about anywhere from an inch to maybe up to 3 inches of rainfall possible as we head throughout the next week. The higher total is going to be into far northwest Georgia, which is where the abnormally dry conditions were. So that's a good thing to see that that's going to be where they have a lot of the better chances for rain. Now, what's the big reason why we're going to be so hot here as we head throughout the next few days? And the answer is this ridge right here. You see this orange dot that's spinning in a clockwise motion. That's an area of high pressure, an upper level ridge that's off to our west. It's been making things really hot over towards Texas. It's going to move a little bit towards the east, and as it does that, we are going to get hotter ourselves. Now, it's going to be weakening as it heads into our direction too, the ridge itself, so it's going to be shrinking a little bit. With that being said, it won't be as hot, but still going to be pretty warm out there, and even still trying to intensify over the western portions of the Atlantic by about Tuesday morning and into the day on Wednesday. While that moves off to the east, though, we are going to get a little bit more in the way of a trough over our region, and that's the good news. Of course, Peachtree Road Race is coming up here just this just this next week. That's going to be on Tuesday. Looking at some of the extremes, you see that the hottest that we've ever had was 80 degrees. 62 was the coolest. We aren't going to be at the hottest. We're not going to be at the coolest, but it is going to be pretty warm out there. So let's bring up that forecast. Again, showing that we are going to have temperatures around the lower to mid 70s at the start of the race. Pretty humid out there. Not as humid as last year. It was a little bit more humid last year. And then temperatures hitting about 80 degrees there by about 10 a.m. So 73 there at 7 a.m. Not too bad, but still drink plenty of water as you prepare to run that race down Peachtree. Looking at the tropics, we still have a low chance for tropical development there in the western portion of the Atlantic, really kind of western central, I guess you could almost say, north of the Lesser Antilles. Low chance for tropical development, not a threat to us, but we'll keep you updated on it. I do want to talk about, though, what's going on in the eastern Pacific. This is Hurricane Adrian, and this storm is moving off to the west away from Mexico and the United States as well, and it's expected to just kind of fizzle out over the next few days here, but just wanted to show that while we don't have any named storms in the Atlantic right now, there is a named storm out there towards the Pacific. So they go by a different set of names in the Eastern Pacific than what we do in the Atlantic. So you'll notice Adrian not on our list. That would be their first named storm of the Pacific season. Here in the Atlantic, and the Eastern Pacific to be exact. And then here in the Atlantic, we've had 3 named storms. Don would be the next name if we do end up getting another named storm. Of course, we have a long time to go here in hurricane season. The peak of the season, September 10th. Things are just now starting to ramp up, and of course, we'll continue to keep you updated all throughout hurricane season. Here's your 7-day forecast showing us that we are going to have the chance for a few isolated showers and storms, mainly Friday and Saturday, and then the chance ramps up a little bit for Sunday and Monday. It is looking like it's going to be a little bit drier on Tuesday, just a few isolated showers and storms. Again, I don't think that's going to be impacting the Peachtree Road Race. I think that's going to be late in the day. So Peachtree Road Race at the start should be drier, but later in the day there on the 4th of July, we are going to have a few isolated showers and storms, unfortunately, for any of those fireworks shows, but things should start to calm down as we get closer on into the evening hours. A lot of time to go here to tweak the forecast, to watch what the weather models have to say about the 4th of July. Again, we'll keep you updated all week on that. What you need to know, though, it's going to be hot here for Thursday, Friday, and then into Saturday. That's going to be when we have the hottest conditions for this next week, and honestly into Sunday as well with 94 there for the high. Make sure you're finding a way to stay cool and staying safe out there. Now, you may be wondering, is this heat going to continue as we head into the early to middle portion of July past the 7-day forecast? We're looking beyond it right here. Day 8 through day 14 shows around average conditions or around average temperatures. That would be the upper 80s to lower 90s for this time of year, so maybe not the mid 90s like what we have for times these next few days, but still going to be hot. And then looking at the rainfall outlook over day 8 through day 14, looks like we're going to be having some better chances for rain too. Now, before we go ahead and get out of here, I want to show you the weekend getaways forecast. If you're heading out anywhere around the region this weekend, be safe, have fun, enjoy the 4th of July weekend. And you see as we head throughout the day there, or the weekend in Destin, looking great. Probably going to have a chance for an isolated shower storm each day. You see the rain chances a little bit higher for Gatlinburg as well as around the Lake Lanier area. We'll, of course, continue to keep you updated on the forecast anytime right here at 11 Alive, and we'll have your next update. Don't forget, the weekend weather update will be as we head throughout 2:30 p.m. here tomorrow. We'll see you again then. Stay safe, stay dry, stay cool, and we'll keep you updated anytime in between here at 11 Alive.